Did I look great now? Please. So, I need to make this quick. Before I have to go, I'm going to make a joke here. Please don't take this seriously. Pay homage to the porcelain god. Throw up. But I don't actually believe that the toilet is a god. Yes, I've dealt with people stupid enough to want to believe that sort of thing about other people. And these people have no excuse. So it's not even that they're just taking you literally. They're just dicks. So anyway, there's this thing, I guess. And I watched this, and apparently the Catholic Church was like training more priests to be exorcists. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, first of all, there's other religions that can do this. Mine is one of them. I mean, I'm not really trained in that. Well, I know the basics, but I imagine everybody knows the basics. You know, the basics we all know. You can only be possessed if you believe that you can be possessed. It's the biggest one. You know, if you believe, then it can happen. If you believe that you have the strength to prevent it, you have the strength to prevent it. Some people just simply believe that they can't be touched by it. It is integrally ingrained in your belief and the strength of it. Whenever an exorcism happens, you're someone with the belief that you have the power to tell that thing to go fuck itself. Or, just get out. And you believe this. So you're augmenting their belief with that. I think that more people have come to accept the possibility, which becomes part of their belief. Because there's been a lot of exorcist movies. And generally these are people that are kept pretty ignorant about this stuff. So they don't know that the reason why less of this shit happened is because people didn't believe. Literally, that's all it is. Belief. You have to believe that it can happen. Okay. That's pretty much it. You have to believe that it can happen. Or at least accept the possibility of it. It's not as simple as... People try to quantify belief. But you can't. Because it is everything that you think and feel. You can watch a movie and accept this possibility. Sometimes this is good. Like, people have gotten a lot of great ideas from sci-fi. They're just like, ooh, this is possible. It's basically what the writer said, this is possible, but I don't know how to do it. So, they created this in their mind. And then somebody made this reality. This happens. But first you have to believe that it's possible. See, I was taught, whenever I was learning, that there is a part of this world that is difficult to see. Some people have a gift to see it or feel it. And, in fact, most people have some awareness of it on some level. Whether they choose to foster that is another story. It's just some people have a more noticeable gift because they're just stronger in it. It's like anything. Like, some people, it's like they're born to draw. Others, they have to practice to get it. You know, it's just like that. Anybody can, though. But at the same time, there's a lot of shouldn'ts. There's a lot of, part of what I learned was don't touch Ouija boards. Ouija board bad. If you don't know how to close a door, you shouldn't open it. Ouija board is opening a door. Don't open it if you don't know how to close it. Also, don't open it if you don't know how to protect everything around you. Like, there's a procedure for this. Like, you need to cast the circle. It's basically to keep evil from intervening. Like, it's kind of a balance for us. We acknowledge the fact that there are spirits there. And in fact, acknowledging positive spirits can even be good. It invites goodwill. But, then there's bad shit, and you have to know how to tell it to go screw itself. You just sort of find your balance in the world. You don't necessarily tell bad stuff to go screw itself, though, because it just creates more bad stuff. But it's creatively what you're saying, without wishing it ill will. You're just telling it that it's not welcome here. And the more positivity you have, the more that is. The one mistake I find that the Christian exorcists make, where you end up with repeat, hauntings somewhere of an evil spirit, is that you kick something out without inviting something in. And you have to believe that's what you're doing. You can't just say words and then it'll happen. You have to believe it. That is the very basis of all of it. You have to believe. And, there cannot be no energy in a space. You kick something out and you don't invite something in, you kick out evil and you don't invite goodness, you've just created a veritable vacuum. This is like trying to swim away from a sinking ship. Even if the evil spirits wanted to completely leave, they can't. I mean, it's just not going to happen. There's this vacuum there because there's nothing there. And it sort of goes along with the principle that there's energy in all things and that, everything is energy, like all around us. So it's more about what we accept and what we don't. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically, if you don't believe you can be possessed, and if you believe that you have the power to tell something to get the hell out of your house, you do. But then there's also stuff that just isn't really bad. It's just mischievous and lonely. Some of the ones that just, open and close cabinets aren't actually trying to scare you. Sometimes they're more neutral than anything else. Invite more good shit, and usually, stuff gets better. Don't invite bad shit. Bad shit is bad. One thing that we are taught is that there's no black magic. Also, there's no Harry Potter. Only in the books. And the movies. But in reality, it's not like that. We're not throwing fireballs. It is acknowledging the energy around us and its influence and ours on it. There's things we can do with that and things we can't. But what we can't do is really limited by what we believe and how strongly we believe it. That gets more complicated. But, yeah. That's basically what it is. Some coming out there is going to get pissed off that I talked about this. It kind of pisses me off that they don't. Do they know what the ignorance does to people? Like, they think that we're eating babies and shit. We're not eating babies. That actually would go directly against all of our beliefs. Like, this is so heinous. This is, like, beyond against us. This is just not going to happen. I don't know any pagan religion that would do that. Let alone Wiccans. Because Wicca, you're following the tenets of harm none. And ye harm none, do what ye will. I'm not telling anybody anything that they can hurt themselves with. I'm telling them, don't do it. And giving information that if they do it anyway, they at least know something to look up so that they're not accidentally opening up a door that they don't know how to close or protect from. And essentially speaking, a lot of people accept these ideas because they fall so in love with fantasy. But that's not the only way. And all that fantasy means is that something isn't real. But that doesn't mean that there isn't something real. It just means that somebody wrote a story. But no, Hogwarts isn't real. And no, I don't get to cast Alohomora whenever I lose my keys. That would be something, though. Alright. So, anyway, my stomach is acting back up, so yeah. Just gonna end it here. I hope you have a wonderful day. And be blessed. And please, if you're going to play with the Ouija boards, be careful. And if you really only believe that it can't do anything, it can. But if you believe even a little bit, cast the circle. And if you want to know how to cast a circle, you can probably find it. It's not that hard to find. So I'm gonna go puke now. Like The Exorcist. Because the infection stuff is in my stomach now. Ew. Oh, it tastes ew coming up too. Ugh. TMI, right?